Alright, well, yes, here comes another video. No cut on the DVD, take one. We're here with the replay analyzer, and I'm just loading any random lap, whatever it looks like. This one ends up being from the Irvindale Speedway as usual. Click on it to show up, but we're gonna go to the graph section of the analyzer right away. The best software in the universe. I keep repeating it again and again for this game. Anyway, if you activate the point marks, it will highlight the points at which the data was taken, so it makes up for a fatter graph. But why I use it is, you see, without the point marks it's skinny. With the point marks, you can see which lines are more legit. You see the spacings and the skips right there? This is each point where the data was taken. So the fatter the line, the more accurate your data is, the more stable, so to say, it is. I don't know about accuracy, because it's all digital. It's all supposed to be somewhat accurate. But the fatter the line, the clearer it is that the data was taken consistently. Let's go with that. What else we got here? RPM. You could see how it's revving in first gear, second gear, and then as you can see me shifting, you can see the drops in RPM. You can measure all that. Anyway, this video is not about that. As well as you could check the gears, and you could see first gear, second gear, third gear. That's how you know I'm not lying to you. As well in the speed. Here I cruise down all the way top gear on the first gear, and then I let it coast, and then I shifted and went all the way to third gear and kind of finished the lap that way. What else? Horsepower curve. Sure, everybody's interested about horsepower, but it's all about torque curves. That's more important. Horsepower is a calculated value that comes from torque and RPM. Horsepower is not a real number. It's calculated from RPM and torque. Anyway, why am I talking about all this? What's the point of this video? Actually, I want to show you a couple of techniques of what I do to compare, and so you don't have to click on things and approximate things. You know, how do you put all these graphs together? And it's a simple way I do it, and it's pretty awesome and legit. All you gotta do is start up your open office right there, take a screenshot, paste it in there, drag it a little bit higher, whatever, it's gonna be good size right away. Then take whatever other stuff that you want to compare, let's say my shifting, my first, second, and third gears versus my speed. This would be probably the most common comparison, is what speed I go. And point, hang on, I had a phone call. Bzz, doesn't matter. Let's go. All you have to do is, you see, let me zoom in a little bit. You have a horizontal range and a vertical range. Just line up the corners. Just move the thing, as you can see me moving up and down, left and right. Just make sure it aligns and it's not too blurry, and this is how you know you got it. As well as you could see me shifting right there from first to second gear. You could see how the speed changes and acceleration and speed changes. As well as you see shift from second to third. And it's very easy to compare. Once you line one graph on top of another, it all starts to make sense, you know. What else can I say? Let's take the RPMs, right? How I feel, first gear, second gear, third gear, and line them up together. You can do as many graphs as you want. If you load different laps so they change colors, you could, you know, make them all different colors and line them up. But for now, they're all red because we're only working with one lap. But that's all good. Make sure the corners line up. And here, approximately, you can see how our shifts and our miles per hour line up with the dips and the shape of our RPM curves. I mean, this is really kindergarten stuff, but at the same time, Formula One guys and everybody in the world, that's how it all works. Now, you see, we have three graphs lined up on top of each other. What else can get better? We could line up our torque number as well as horsepower, or whatever you want to line up, as many graphs before it gets confusing, you know. Yeah, overall, it's pretty good. Because before, the problem with physics editing is that the visual 3D models don't change as you do the physics changes. If you make the car longer, you're actually not going to see the visual 3D model become longer. Or if you make it heavier or wider or whatnot, whatever you do, there's no visual backup behind it. So you're only bound to feel something, and that's all you could do. But this tool kind of allows you to see. Right there, I'm comparing RPM to the torque values, as you can see how the RPM is rising and the torque is falling off. You got your first kind of visual pictures of what you could do and what's going on in game. It kind of opens up your vision for things, as well as lining up these graphs on top of each other. A very expensive telemetry software like Motec will do that for you if you know how to use it and set it up right. But here with some basic tools, in the open office, we could fucking, replay analyzer for the win, guys. I'll see you in a bit for the next one. Here it goes.